Hello everybody. Today we're going to do a little video on how to rescale plans for flight test airplanes. It could probably work for most any airplane design that you can get as long as you can download the plans in like a PDF format. You could do it manually with other plans if you scan them in or something like that, but digital plans that you can download are going to be a whole lot easier. So let's get going. Get a little coffee here, hang on. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is download the program Inkscape. It's a free program. You see it on the screen right now. It looks a little bit daunting at first, but it's really not that bad. And what we're going to use it for really only kind of gets into a little bit of the functionality of the program. So just stick with me and it's going to be okay. The next thing you're going to want to do is decide what plans you want to adjust from Flitetest, and you want to download the full plan, not the tiled plan. The tiled plan's not going to work for what we're trying to do here. The full plan is definitely what you're going to want, and I'll kind of show you why in just a minute. Let me say that this is the method that I have come up with after watching a few videos. There's some other guys out there who have made videos on this. It's not completely 100% my idea, and I'm not taking credit for anything. I just want you guys to see how I do it, and maybe it'll help some of you. So here we go. Once you have the plans downloaded on your computer, open Inkscape, and let's open the plans. So you can see here that I have the FT Simple Scout PDF. It's the full version. You can see full size there. So open that up and you get this box. Now right here you can select which page of the plans you want to work with in Inkscape, and so let's do the wing. Right here on the plan. You don't have to mess with any of these other settings. None of that's going to matter for what we're doing. So choose the page you want to work with and click OK. Give it a minute to load this up. If you have a computer that is a little bit slower, this could take a while. Um, don't know why I did that. That's kind of silly. But anyway, that process could take a while. My computer is like a mid-level gaming PC, so it's fairly powerful. Um, but on an older computer, you can click load and you can just let it do its thing. Don't do anything else, just let it load. It'll take a little bit and it'll bring it in. So this is what you get. Now I'll try to give you some tips about what I'm doing with the keyboard and everything. So if you hold the control button and roll the mouse wheel towards you, you can zoom out like this. You can hold the control button down and zoom in, roll the mouse wheel the other way. Um, you can hold down the space bar and it will pan the image around like that. So that's just some helpful little hints for you guys, so you don't have to use these slider bars because they're clunky and aggravating. They do have their uses, but anyway. So this is what you're going to see. There's a couple of really important things you need to know here. The first thing is you can click and drag to highlight everything, and you can slide it off like this. Now, this little box that you see here with this drop shadow behind it, this is the working space of Inkscape. The only thing that's going to be saved to a file able to be printed or anything like that is what is inside this workspace. Now right now this workspace is not the correct size, but we'll get into resizing it later, kind of at the end when we're almost finished. So don't worry about that too much right now. We'll get to that in a little bit. So what we're going to do next is zoom into this, and let's see if this one's already done. Yeah, it is. Okay, you can click on the plan right there. Let's zoom out, and you can pull just the parts of the airplane out of kind of the whole thing, because we're not going to need all of this other stuff. If that doesn't work, if it won't let you select just this part, highlight the whole thing like that with this in there, and you can right click and go down here to ungroup, and that'll take it apart for you. We're going to do that in just a second with this up here. Once it's ungrouped, you can pull that out. You can select all of this and hit the delete button and get rid of it. So this is all all these parts are together as a group still. So we're going to work with just the wing right now. So let's highlight it all, and see, it'll even highlight it all when you click on one part. It puts the box around all of it. That lets you know that it's in a group. So right click, ungroup. This part also takes a good bit of processing power. That just put my CPU up at 67%. So it's a little bit intense on the system. If it doesn't work, you can click it again. Give it a sec, see if it's going to ungroup. There it goes. Okay. So, like I said, with slower computers, that part of the process could actually be the longest wait time that you have. It is pretty labor intensive on the computer to do that. I did talk with Spawns, and he said that he is not going to change the way that he formats the files for these plans. So as long as he doesn't do that, we should still be able to import these plans into here and ungroup them like this, and manipulate them in here without any trouble. So he said that he wasn't going to change anything, so that's good for us. So now that it's ungrouped, you can highlight certain parts and get rid of them, like this fuselage bottom. I think it is on this plan. Let's see, it doesn't matter. Yeah, fuselage bottom. You can highlight that, hit delete. You can drag this way, you can hit delete. Little bomb, that's pretty cool. Uh-oh, we don't want to get into the wing. See what, well, let me show you what will happen if you do that. If you click and do that, you see how like down here it's highlighted just some little pieces of this. You don't want that. You want to be really careful when you're selecting the things to delete, so that you leave everything that you want. Okay, so now we have just the wing left, and you can see that it'll definitely fit in that workspace over there, but we haven't scaled it yet. So I like to make everything bigger. I'm doing a 200% cub right now. So what you want to do is highlight all of this, these parts, and oh, by the way, let me show you something right quick before we do that. When it's ungrouped, all of these little lines are individual things that you can mess with. We're going to come back to that in a minute and show you something about that. So for our purposes right now, let's go ahead and highlight everything, right click it, and regroup it. We want all this to move as one single piece. So we're almost done to the point of scaling up. So once you get here, you're ready to scale. You want to come up to the top right here, and you want to click this little lock icon. What that's going to do is scale the plan in every direction proportionately. Otherwise, it's only going to scale in one direction, either on the X or the Y, and it's going to make things look really funny, which could be cool for like a cartoon airplane or something like that. But if you want to keep the proportions the same, you're going to want to click that little lock. And I mean, you can play around with this and see what it does to all the different facets of the airplane, and come up with something cool. I'd love to see that. So let's change this to percent right here. It's not going to help us much if it's in pixels like that. So change this to percent, and you'll see these numbers all went to 100. Now think of 100 as just a baseline. So if you went to 50, it would cut the size of the plan in half. If you go to 200, it will double the size of the plan. So we got it on percent. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Got to have it highlighted. And let's change this to 200. And when you hit enter, bang, it upscales the size of the wing to 200%. Now let's step back. Well, doesn't want to go back. Control Z. Yeah, that's what I did. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I needed to hit it twice. I want to check something right quick, because I don't know on this airplane. So you can take this little ruler tool here, and you click and hold and drag like so. So this is in pixels. Hang on, let's change this units to inches. That's what's easy for me to work with. 18.76 inches. Okay, so almost 19 inches. Let's get rid of the ruler. So that's how big one wing is on the Scout. Let's highlight it and blow it up to 200%. There we go. Now let's take the ruler and measure it again. Well, I don't know, it did something stupid just then, but I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try it again. There we go. I am by no means a professional with this program. So look, 37.51 inches on the wing. So this would be a Scout with a 6-foot wingspan, which in my opinion is pretty cool. So we have resized the wing, and you can see that it is not going to fit in this workspace. And like I said, nothing outside of that workspace is going to be saved to a file that you can print. Hang on a sec. Okay, so we need to resize the workspace so that everything is usable. So what you want to do is go up here to File, and I apologize if I'm moving the mouse too quickly, but my computer should be keeping up. Go to Document Properties, and it's going to open another window, which it did on my other monitor. So let's bring it over here. There we go. All right, this is Document Properties box, and what you want to do is go right here to Custom Size. All right, let's change that to inches, just to make things easy. And you can see that that workspace that's currently there is actually 34 inches by 22 inches. So you can change this to 30 by 20 and actually see how much of the wing is going to fit on one sheet of foam board. So this is kind of funny. You can see how much of the wing is going to be on one sheet there. So it's going to take probably 2.5 sheets of foam board per wing for a 200% Scout, which that's cool. But that's not going to help us right now. What you're going to have to do is take the ruler. Again, make sure you're in inches or centimeters or whatever unit you want to work in. Inches just works easier for me because, you know, America and whatnot. We can't get on the metric system like the rest of the planet. 32.27 inches. Okay, so let's set the height to 33. And yep, there we go. That went all the way up. So this was, I don't remember what the measurement was. That was also 37.5. So let's go on the width. Let's go 40. There we go. Okay, so once you've done that, you can close that little box. You can grab this and just sort of try to center it in the workspace, and that's pretty much done. So now what we'll do is go to File, we'll hit Save As. We're going to save this as not as an Inkscape file, unless you're not finished and you want to come back to it later. You would save it at that, or you can save it at both, so you can, you know, you don't have to go back in and ungroup the plans and all that every time. What I do when I start is I go in, I ungroup everything, and I make a different Inkscape file for every part of the airplane. That way I don't have to spend that time every time I want to adjust any part going back in and ungrouping it all over again. You know, it takes about 20 minutes or so, and I have all my parts individually in different Inkscape files. But for us, for now, we're going to save this as a PDF. So we'll rename this FT Simple Scout full size and just add PDF and save it. Don't worry about any of this. You don't have to change any of these things. These settings are going to work absolutely perfectly for what we're trying to do. So just leave it at that and hit OK. Now, let's open that up, which, let's see, where did I save it? Let's see if it saved it here. Yep, there we go. So we're gonna we'll open up the PDF, and I'll show you what this has done. Let it open in this program. This is Adobe Reader. You can get it for free. It's not an expensive program, and it's a fairly decent program for doing this. There is one issue that I will show you in a minute that I have not figured out how to solve. If any of you guys know how to do this, please let me know, because it would be of great help to me. So this is where we're going to print our plans from. So this is the plan scaled up to 200%, and let's just go and click the print button, and you'll see the print dialog will come up. All right, when this comes up, obviously choose and make sure you're going to print from the correct printer. You want to go right down here and click poster. Wow. I think something's wrong here. I think I had my printer set up for printing on 4x6. So let me check this right quick. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's what was wrong. So you want to make sure your printer is set for like letter size paper. I mean, if you can print on legal paper or something like that, it might use less sheets if you do that. So that looks better. That other one had me worried there for a second. So it actually optimized it pretty well for this one. I think that if this plan for this wing could be slid up just a little bit and brought to the top of these sheets, you could probably not use these 4 sheets on the bottom down here. I think it could be better situated inside, these, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 16 sheets right here, and you could get rid of these ones. But I haven't figured out how to move that yet. One thing I did do that I have not perfected is I would take, back in Inkscape, I would take another small part for the airplane, and I would put it kind of off in this corner up here and make the workspace encompass both parts. And it would, sometimes if I got it just right, it would, more effectively put this biggest panel into as few sheets as possible. But I haven't perfected it. If you know a program that works for this, I think there's one for Mac that does it really easy, but there isn't one for Windows that I have found that's a freeware program anyway, that does that. But what you can see here is this is going to take 20 pages of normal letter size paper to print, and at this point, I mean, you're pretty much done. You can click this box and it will give you little cut marks in the corners where you would take these sheets and you would cut off 2 edges, like the right edge and the bottom edge on all the sheets. That way you can tape them together, and it will give you these little marks where you can line it up and make sure that your plan stays straight. And then what I do is, once that's done and they're all taped together, I take my razor knife and just go around the outside edge and cut out the plan from the paper, and then I'll lay it out on the foam board and tape it down in a couple of places, and use the Sharpie fine tipped, like the pen type Sharpie, not the marker type. It's got like a really fine tip, like a .7 tip, and those work really well on foam board. And I just draw around the plan. I will use T-pins or straight pins and push through, like right there in that where the servo goes. I'll just push through on the corners, and then once I take this off of the foam board, then I can use just a ruler and connect the dots basically, and that gives me where I need to cut out for my control surfaces and all of that stuff. And so that's basically it. From this point, you just click print. I'm not going to, because I don't want to print this plan just yet. I may do this plane at some point, but I did it mostly just for the video. So if you have a color printer, it will print with these colors. The blue and the green and the red and all that will actually still be there. And this is an easy way to scale up a plan. So let's go back and let's take a look at maybe one more thing just to run through it real quick. So let's delete this. We're going to open not the PDF one that we made. We're going to open the full size. Let's pick a page. Let's do the fuselage just for giggles. It's probably going to open another instance of Inkscape. I don't know why Inkscape does that, but it does, and it, yep, see, it's really annoying. So let's close this one, close without saving, open this one. All right, so let's see if this one is grouped. Nope. So we can pull that straight away, get that out of there. Whoa, didn't mean to do that, sorry. We can delete this. All right, we're gonna work with the fuselage, so let's ungroup it, give it a minute, drink some coffee. Sorry about that. I don't know why, sometimes it takes it like a couple of times on the ungroup. There we go. All right, so you know what, we're gonna save that little piece. You gotta group it, dummy. There. We're gonna save that little piece and try that trick with the printer. So let's carefully select all of that, get rid of that. You know what, let's put this piece down here. And we're going to regroup. And you can see kind of how quickly I'm running through this. I mean, it really doesn't take long once you have the system down. Let's, nope, we got to go to percent. There we go. So let's take this, 200%. There it is. Let's just see how long this thing's going to be. Let's go right here. There we go. Fuselage is in pixels. Let's swap up to inches. 52-inch long fuselage for a 200% Scout. That's kind of cool. All right, take that and move that up there. Zoom out a bit. Put that, well, we'll just center it right there for now. Let's try to get it a little closer. Okay. File, document properties. We're going to go in inches and let's do width at, what was it, 52? Let's try 52. Up, a little short. 54. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's take this, center it up. Okay, that's good. Let's, okay, now where is that little part that I had? There it is. So we're going to leave that out right now, and we'll check that in a minute. We're going to see how it's going to come on the print screen. So let's full size. Let's do fuselage PDF. Save it as a PDF. Save. Okay. Open it as fuselage PDF. Print. Oop, that's the wrong button. Print. Let's see how it lays out when you do poster. It's doggone printer. We've been printing pictures lately is why it's doing that. Okay, so that's not too bad. Well, I don't know why I did that. That's not terrible. That's 18 pages, but honestly, I think that you might could get it on half, without one of these. You could probably get it on 12 pages. So let's try it and see. Let's close this, go back in here. Let's take this part and put it maybe here. Yeah, let's try that. So let's go with the width. Let's do 60 and see if that'll be good. Looks like maybe. And let's do 30 and see if that'll be good. Yeah, so let's take this little piece. We'll put it right here in the corner. We'll take this piece and leave it down here, and hopefully this will make it so that it's more efficiently done. Let's do PDF2 for the print. Oops, I saved it as the wrong file. Save as PDF2. Yep, PDF save. Okay. Alright, so let's go back and we'll open this thing up. PDF2. Okay, print, poster, Yeah, it's still in. Yeah, but see how it offset when you added that little part up there? Even though this is wrong, I'm gonna have to go change this back. Yeah, look at that. It actually worked. So it's not gonna print on all these blank pages. Obviously, it will run through and it'll spit them out of your printer, but you can just put them back in again. But I'm glad this worked. That's awesome. Let's see if this one's actually. Yeah, see that one? It'll print that there. Of course, that's still not upscaled yet, but this is. But it put this down in the corner and it put it on only 12 sheets of paper instead of 18. So that's awesome. That works. You just have to play around with that until you get it, just right. And then again, from this point, all you got to do is hit print, tape it together, and cut it out. So I hope that that helps you guys. I hope that you guys are able to use this and get some planes scaled up or down. You could go the other way too if you wanted to take like the cub and make it like a micro cub and build it out of meat packing tray or something like that. You could do exactly the opposite of this. You would just, when you go up here, make sure that's locked, change that to percent, and this is how you go down. I'm good, glad that we did this. So we've already scaled up to 200%. But say you wanted to, you made a mistake and you wanted to go back and you were actually doing this one and you wanted to go down. You have to go back to 100 first. So if you leave it at 100, that doesn't do anything. You have to take 50% of the size that it is now. So that puts it back to the original size, and this number changed back to 100 again. So if you want to go back down 50% again, you do it again. And now that is half the size of the Flitetest version of the Simple Scout. So let's see how long that would be. It'd be kind of a cool little microplane. Crap. That's pretty close right there. So let's check inches. Yeah, 12, 13 inches long basically. So that would be like an awesome little microplane to fly inside a gym or something like that. If you built it out of like meat trays, that would be cool. So anyway, that's pretty much done. I hope it helps you guys, and if so, leave me a little comment and let me know and share the heck out of it. I mean, let everybody know. So thanks so much for watching, and you guys have fun flying.